dark and difficult times lie ahead. Soon we must all face the choice between what is right and what is easy.
Now, as most of you watching will already know, in October, I had to think for a minute there, in October, Paul got assaulted, had his phone taken from him and damaged at a car showroom called Car Quick Trade Ltd in Stockport. Now, Paul reported that incident to the police, and you may have seen the video where we went back to see Car Quick Trade and talk to them about the incident, and subsequently they've put in multiple privacy complaints against videos all over YouTube where lots of people have mirrored it. Thankfully, because of the type of video that I did previously, my long video where I dived in and looked for what I could find on Car Quick and found some questionable materials, thankfully, with an email to YouTube after that was privacy complainted, they've allowed me to keep it up, okay, because it is not an infringement of privacy. Anyway, what you're going to hear now is a phone call from Manchester Police telling Paul the outcome or where they're at with their investigation into what happened. This video, I have cut out quite a lot to try and bring it down to a reasonable level, including my interventions as well. So enjoy. Let me know what you think in the comments below.
PC Cross calling from Cedar Heath Police Station in Stockport.
Hello there.
Hi, are you okay?
I'm not so bad.
Are you free to speak?
Yes, I am.
It's just regarding the incident that happened at the, is it the car showroom?
Car Quick.
Yes. Obviously there was, you're aware that allegations on both sides, obviously one that you were filming and then one from yourself, that your phone has been forcibly either removed or knocked out of your hand. What's been going on since? Has anything since?
Well,
have you been back?
friends, YouTube friends and that, we actually went back to see if they want to, make amends and, sort things out and ask nicely. And that was it, so we went away. And that's about it.
How did it all come about, this? What's been the starting point?
So as I was going past, I thought I'd just do a quick blog on this place. Nothing bad. It's on the video. I said nothing bad or anything. And they came out, the salesman came out, asked if I wanted to buy a car. And then the other guy came out, was stood behind me, and he said, what are you doing? Who are you? I said, right. What do you mean? And as I turned round with my phone, he said, don't record me. I said, I can, I'm in public. And that's when he grabbed my phone and ripped the phone from me, took the phone into the showroom and wouldn't give me my phone back.
Yeah, there was a bit of a standoff, wasn't there, I think?
But the thing is, what he wanted me to do was delete footage, and if I refused, and which I did refuse, he refused to give me the phone back. Now, I wasn't going to go out the showroom and leave my phone there because I don't know what they would have done to it.
Accept that.
So I wasn't going to move, I was going to stay until I got my phone back. After about 2.5 hours or something like that, I said, how long are you going to keep this up for? It's stupid. And we were supposed to be, he said the police were coming, so I think they were waiting for the police and he didn't turn up and I couldn't understand why. He gave me my phone back. So I'm walking out and then I just put the phone, I turned the phone round because I could see one approaching me, and it was on record, and he just slapped the phone right out of my hand and it hit the deck and broke it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously due to demand on that day, there was no office that could be allocated at that time.
I appreciate that. The thing is, I wanted, or I would have liked the police officers to come down to tell them to give me my phone back.
Of course, I know. I mean, that advice was passed to that gentleman.
Well, he lied then. He lied to me because he said to me that the operator said, keep hold of the phone.
No, well, he has lied because I've read the log and it clearly, well, I can only go off what the log says because I wasn't that call handler or call taker, but it's endorsed on our log that the advice was to de-escalate the situation by returning the phone. I appreciate that.
I would have. I would have. As soon as they give me the phone back, when I did get my phone back, I left. So if they had given me my phone back, I'd have been gone. That was quite odd. in grabbing my phone, taking it, and then demanding that I delete it. At one point, the salesman was saying, "I need to get a hammer. I want to smash the phone up." I mean, it was very intimidating.
I accept that completely. Obviously, since that initial incident, I know there's been a couple more where I think you've been down.
Like I said, we went down a week later, and we stood on the outside. But it was very, very hard.
Well, it's probably now aware that the legalities of the fact that if you're in a public place, there's no offences of filming or taking photographs.
The legalities of the fact that if you're in a public place, there's no offences of filming or taking photographs
of anyone or any person.
So
that in itself is not an offence.
That in itself is not an offence.
And I can understand because I have to be impartial and look on both sides. That if you're within their personal space or they're within the business premises, they can ask you quite rightly to leave.
Yep, I totally agree with you a lot.
To them and stuff like that.
Yep.
Ask you to stop filming, and when you come into a public space, then you're quite within your rights to film again.
I mean, the thing is, what I tried to say to them is, you came to me. I was stood outside. I couldn't see inside the showroom. So if I stayed in the showroom, fine. Since that incident happened, I've not done anything because it has been a bit of a shock.
It will be.
So I've not done anything really since, apart from going down when I had some friends with me, and that's basically it. Now, I was talking to a lady the other day, and apparently there's some counter claims against me. Is there?
There's counter allegations. As I say, I'm impartial, and I will look at both sides. Obviously, they've reported obviously that you've been down more than one occasion. You've been asked not to video, and you have. I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of it. I've already explained my standpoint on it. The legalities of the fact that if you're in a public place, there's no offences of filming or taking photographs of anyone or any person. So that in itself is not an offence. That anyone is quite within their rights to film anyone or take photographs of people within a public arena. But you need, this is just in the interest of sort of trying to de-escalate the situation, is that you need to be mindful that if your course of conduct, their perception of your course of conduct and how they report it, they believe it to be causing harassment, obviously they're within their rights to make a complaint. And I'll have to listen to both sides, quite rightly. Now, for yourself and the chaps at the garage, I accept that this incident or chain of events can be up there, and cause a lot of problems. However, the incident, on reflection, for a public interest point of view and further investigation, I'm not saying it's down on a lower level, but the current threat, harm and risk of it, if we can speak to both sides and try and mediate and try to resolve it that way, then we would much rather do it that way than the court case of you all coming in, being interviewed and spoken to, and then the CPS getting advice, which would likely be there would be no prosecution. Doesn't become very effectively cost effective, if that makes sense. I
mean, I don't want to be messing around going to court or all that sort of stuff. I totally agree with you. I didn't go out to end up with all this hassle and the concerns with it. So I would quite happily end the thing. It's just my phone got broken. That's my issue.
I appreciate that. Have you had the phone repaired?
No, not yet. No. Because I didn't know what was happening.
Well, you've got a couple of choices, basically. I mean, the likelihood of you getting, I'm going to go to the extreme. Okay. So the likelihood of, if say the matter went to court and over damage, which is very unlikely, the compensation that they may allocate would be minimum. It would be less than your excess that you would pay to get a phone repaired if you had insurance cover, for example.
I find that very strange. When I was a kid, I remember finding a wet patch of cement that somebody had fixed a gatepost right next to the pavement, and I think I was about 8 or 9. And I made the stupid mistake of actually writing my full name. Where most people put initials, I wrote my full name. And around my area, everybody knew our family. I had the police knock on the door one day, okay? Criminal damage because I wrote my name in wet cement, which quite literally could have just been skimmed over with some fresh cement. No problem. But no. I was told I had to write an apology letter and I had to pay £10 out of my pocket money. £10 I had to pay out. The police told me that rather than take it down the criminal route, which they couldn't anyway because I was like 9 years old or whatever, to pay £10 towards the damage. Why they couldn't do that in this situation or other situations, I don't know. Rather than just saying, no, fuck it, we can't be bothered, they clearly know that an offence was committed by Car Quick Trade. And rather than losing faith from the public by saying we're not going to deal with your crime, we're not going to deal with the fact that your phone was broken, that you was ultimately assaulted and there's clear criminal damage that has occurred, we're just going to ignore it. Just, it doesn't make any sense at all.
You've also got the route of a civil recovery, the business premises where the phone's been damaged. You've got a crime reference, so you can support a civil court with the crime reference number, and you could take it through the small claims court for the recovery of the costs of the repair of that phone.
More like.
Do you know what I mean? Time and everything else is in layman's terms, a complete waste of time, either through the criminal route or the civil route, with it being such a low-level amount as such. I appreciate to you and to myself personally, if my phone got damaged, I'd be fuming. It does have a cost implication, but the actual process of going through to get that recovered outweighs it, in my opinion. The cost of a phone when quite either get it repaired or do it through insurance, or if it's still working and it's still my phone is smashed completely and it has been 2 years. I'm waiting for the contract to run out so we can get a new one. I've just had to live with it.
I think the
fault, by the way, not anyone else's though.
But when you said before about if you could get a resolution, I mean my resolution would be that they pay for my phone to be repaired because they broke it.
Well, that's it. I mean, potentially, but obviously, with the counter allegation, they're just going to sue they're just going to be going, well, we'll sue him for harassment and stuff like that.
Well,
it's not going anywhere. Anyway, I'm going to be having to say, I've been trying to have a conversation with the owners of the garage for the last 2 days, but I can't get through to them on the phone to explain to them that the level of, albeit a crime has been committed.
Which what crime?
Of the criminal damage.
Right, yeah.
It's a level where obviously further investigation by ourselves, we won't be further investigating. We obviously know who's done it, we know what's been caused and stuff like that. The only thing that we've got is obviously the damage to the phone, and obviously because they've used force to take that out of your hand, a low-level common assault as such without injury, which we know about. We're happy that it's recorded, and as such, and anything that's passed over by the courts wouldn't financially compensate you enough to get that phone repaired. That I've already made them aware, and I did initially when they phoned, that it isn't an offence to photograph or take a video of someone within a public arena and a public space.
I've already made them aware, and I did initially when they phoned, that it isn't an offence to photograph or take a video of someone within a public arena and a public space.
I mentioned that at the beginning of the phone call. I'm not saying it's right, and it's not saying that you can go around doing that, because you know that you can't.
It wasn't a good afternoon, and I don't think they should get away with it scot-free.
No, well, they're not going to be getting away with it, because obviously they're going to be getting spoken to in regards to the incident. But like I said, they've also made the counter allegation of harassment, so they will always come with two sides to every story.
I appreciate that.
And when you pop them two sides towards, for us to investigate it further, when you pop those two sides of the story to, because we don't prosecute it, it's a Crown Prosecution Service that would prosecute it. Because we don't prosecute it, it's a Crown Prosecution Service that would prosecute it. Because we don't prosecute it, it's a Crown Prosecution Service that would prosecute it.
Because we don't prosecute it, it's a Crown Prosecution Service that would prosecute it.
Now that last repeat that you've just heard, I've made a point of doing that specifically, hopefully for you to remember that, what is just said, in the video that's coming out on Tuesday at 7 p.m. because it kind of contradicts what police have been doing in the video that you're going to see on Tuesday the 26th at 7 p.m. So please come back and check that out. But remember what is just said there.
They effectively wouldn't take the matter to court. They would just say, counter allegations, it is not within a public interest case to take the matter to court. I'm not saying it's right at all, but they wouldn't pursue it any further.
Right, not that you didn't know this already, because it's highly likely that you do. But if you ever get accused of something, make sure you have counter allegations, because it gives you a nice large % chance that the police will just go, do you know what? I can't be bothered getting involved in this, and just tell both parties to knock it on the head and not follow it through. So there you go. If you get accused of something, just come up with some counter allegations and, you know, you should be sweet.
I would have thought that the reason to take someone to charge in that would be for justice, not just for
well, of course
public.
it's for justice, but there's other ways of of getting justice, i.e., for example.
Fighting my winter, bro. Look at me, I'm strong. Look at me.
Oh! Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. You're not allowed to drive it. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
I got a license.
If your phone has been damaged, you're quite within your right. You could go to the small claims court to request compensation based on the fact that the matter has been recorded as a crime with the police. The courts can
do a private prosecution
because they have a lower level of burden of proof than the criminal courts. So civil courts are lower.
Yeah, but mine's pretty well proved because it's all on camera. It's all on video.
Yeah, of course it is, because you were videoing it at the time.
Okay, so basically what you're saying to me then is you don't think there's really...
Realistically, the matter wouldn't be pursued through the courts.
Okay.
Even with any further investigation, interviews, potentially with the CCTV, but because it's so low level, they wouldn't pursue it through the courts. It's not. We have still recorded the crime and attached, obviously, you as a victim and persons that are known as named offenders. So that gets recorded against them.
Right. Can I have the names of them?
I'm not going to give you the names of the people that's recorded on this crime.
Okay.
For the reasons that I suspect that would escalate matters further.
Oh, Mr. Policeman, you don't want to give the names of people because you think it might escalate things. Well, clearly you haven't done your basic investigation, because if you had, then you'd know that everybody involved knows the names of these fucking cretins anyway. Well, just for avoidance of doubt, you won't mention their names. I will. So here we have Zinat Tariq. This is the person who is down as the director of the company. Then we have Hamza Dar. This is the guy who came out initially with the glasses and the big beak and spoke to Paul before Raza Tariq comes out and aggressively tackles Paul's phone from his hands and then takes it from him. So there we go. Now, if anybody's going to escalate anything, it ain't me. All I've done is shared their names. If anything comes to this, they're the ones that are escalating it. So, what are you going to do?
Okay. If it went to court, their names would be then public record.
Yeah, there'd be a matter of public interest, wouldn't it? For me, I would like the matter to be as settled as it possibly could without getting further calls from either side saying such and such has been posted on.
Oh, no, I'll never, no, sorry. I have every right to post anything on YouTube as long as it's legal.
I'm just saying, but it's just, that's what I mean. It's just a continuation and an escalation, and that's not really what we want. However, you've got a choice if you want to post stuff on, as long as it's not slanderous or causing harassment or alarm or distress and stuff, then you're quite within your right. Right, I shall leave it with you then. If I get any more, or if there's anything else I need to speak to you about, or it's going to be pursued further in respect of anything, then I will let you know.
Okay, all right. Thanks very much.
All right.
Cheers,
Take care. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Good night, all. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you like the content and you'd like to help support the channel, you can do so. In the description of every video there are some links to ways that you're able to help support the channel so I can continue putting out content. If you're unable to help us in that way, hit that subscribe button up the top there. If you haven't already, become a subscriber. That is support enough. Share the videos, comment, like, it all helps. If you're looking for something else to watch, up top there is my latest video. Down the bottom there is a video that YouTube recommends for you.